trying to set things up. So let me hope that this time round everything is gonna work out. So let me just try this for the last time. Okay. Yes. Playlist. Yes. No. Not for kids. Altered content. No. Nada. So hello guys, it's Amos in Motion here. If you're joining this live, kindly stay tuned because I'm setting things up. I know I've said this for like so many times, but let me just give me a bit of some time to finish setting things up, and then I'll be good. I'll be good in a few. Just a few, I'll be good. I'm hoping that things work out well with this. No, this is my third time I'm trying to go live today, so I'm just hoping that all goes on well. And I'm not seeing any one of you guys on the live. What's happening today? Hello guys, how you doing? Where are you watching us from? Where are you watching us from, guys? I don't know if this thing is public or private. It must be on private because I'm not seeing anybody actually joining this live at all. The first attempt is when I saw like 2 people tried to comment and I didn't even see the comments. I don't know what's going on. I'm just hoping that you are seeing me struggling here. Maybe you can give me a masterclass somewhere. Give me online lessons, man. Help a brother here. I'm suffering. It's unlisted. Oh my goodness. This is why. I don't know if I should restart it. Oh. Okay. Yes, there was a problem somewhere, so I just resolved it. This now should work actually. This should be working now because we are live. So welcome guys to today's live stream. Tell us where you watching us from. This is Amos in Motion, coming live from Nairobi, Kenya. It's the time is 10 p.m. Oh my goodness. 10 p.m. East African time. We call it EAT. 10 p.m. EAT, East African time. So when I'm saying East Africa, I mean Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and you can also include countries like Somalia. You can include countries like Burundi, Uganda. Yeah, that's Eastern African countries. So guys, if you're watching me, welcome to today's live. It's a special live stream today, and actually we have a very unique topic today. We are going to talk about some myths that I've heard from people from the Western cultures, the Middle East, Asia, and other continents. People who don't come from Africa, like some things that they think are true, but in the real sense, they are not true, or they don't make any sense to any African. So guys, if you're watching me, like this live, give the live a thumbs up. I can see somebody already liked the live. Thank you so much for those who are liking this live. And I can see comments also flowing in. Let me just read them from my laptop so that it can be easier to do the live while I read the comments. It's easier that way. So just a moment, guys. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Today is gonna be fire hot. I'm telling you, today is gonna be so hot. It's a hot. Okay, so actually, where the reason why I'm doing this live in such an hour is because I saw a number of you suggested that I should be doing my live. Okay, let me pause this. Okay, it's because most of you actually have been saying that I should be doing my live streams at such an hour, because when I'm doing them so early, like 7 p.m. East African time, most of you find that you're not online. It's not a good time for you to watch. Mostly for those who come from different time zones, and also even my brothers here in EAT, East African time. You have been also telling me, some of you have been telling me that, oh, this time 7 p.m. is not a good time, because it's when you find most of you are coming out of your work, you are from running your errands in town, or somewhere else. So 7 p.m. is not such a good time to do a live, and I agreed with that. Actually, it makes a lot of sense. So today, it's a really wonderful day. I'm going to talk about the myths that the people from the other cultures think about Africa, things that other people think about Africa, things that other people think that are true about Africa, but in the real sense, they're not true. So, welcome, guys. I can see somebody here called Kiari Robertson. I said hi. Hi, Kiari. Louis, the red eared slider. Oh my goodness, that name sounds like some name from those movies, like how can I call them, movies like Goat, or Spartacus. Those, how do we call them, those movies from the old, old, how do we call those kind of movies? Oh my, the name has just escaped. But hey, that name, Louis the Red Eared Slider. Somebody who can you. Hi, Louis. Hey, Nda Winda H1K. Can you see that? EMBEGE. I don't know what name that is. Kindly, Winda, just tell me what you mean by that. Somebody's saying hello. This is Enesil. Hey, this name is so long. I don't know where the first name ends, the next name. YouTube doesn't show me how the name appears. Just shows me the, how do you call it, the link, like Enesla somebody, Hamet Baba. Hey, this name is so long. Hello Amos. I can see my good friend, a mom that I really respect, Zenab Tafli. Hello, hello. Somebody saying, ha ha. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing, my friend? Why are you laughing? It's a good day. It's a good day. We are just, you know, having a good time, ending the day. It's 10 p.m. Can you imagine? It's 10 p.m. here. And today, it's a unique day because I'm doing this live from my bedroom. Other lives I've been doing them from the sitting room, and for this live, it's so unique that I'm doing it from my bedroom. So let's jump straight to what brought us here today. So I saw some guy. Let me just go uh to the comments. I ran this on my IG, Instagram, and some people gave their responses. So I'm going to use this to do our live, or our live is going to be based on the responses. So somebody said, Africa is a country. Guys, guys, is it true that people from, the West, America, South America, North America, when I say America, I mean South America and North America, think that Africa is a country? Oh my goodness. Africa is a whole continent with 54 countries. Can you imagine? Africa is a whole continent with 54 countries. A whole 54 countries. With those are 54 presidents. And you are calling Africa a country. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't know how education in other countries are, but here in Kenya, can you imagine somebody who is, let's say, in class 4? That's grade 4. Some of you call it grade. Some people call it class. In Kenya, we used to call it class. That's primary education, and now people are calling it grade. So a kid in grade 4 can tell you all the continents in this world, and Africa must or is among the continents. So it's crazy that people from the West actually think Africa is a country. It's crazy. And this one, I'm not making it up, because I saw some American YouTuber, a black guy who is currently in Kenya. I was watching his video, and he was so surprised when he came to Africa for the first time, and he realized that Africa is so massive. Africa is a lot of countries together. Like, it's not a country, it's not a place where you can just move like in one country, because you need passport, like, not passport, visas to move from one country to another. And that was something so shocking to him, and I was like, oh my goodness. So people don't know Africa is actually a whole continent. Africa is a place, a continent with 54 countries. 54 countries. And you guys, oh, I don't know. I couldn't imagine that some people think Africa is just like one country, and you can come to Africa and move to all parts you want, or all places you want to move to, like, freely. Africa is a whole continent. There's someone in this chat who is laughing, yeah, laughing so much. Okay. Many people believe Africa is a country. You see, it's not a joke actually. So many people think Africa is a country, and that's so surprising to me, who who has been born in Africa, brought up in Africa, and my whole life has been, in Africa. So when I hear people say they thought all their life, then this somebody who is so big, in their 30s, and they think Africa is a country. I just wonder, when people say I'm from Kenya, I'm from Ghana, I'm from Nigeria, I'm from South Africa, what comes to your mind? Guys, what comes to your mind when somebody says I'm from, Morocco, I'm from, I don't know, Egypt? What comes to your mind? That's just a village? I don't know. I don't know. Africa is a whole country with 54 countries. Africa is a continent, sorry, with 54 countries. Those are 54 presidents, 54 governments, different governments. Some countries in Africa you can't just move freely. You must have a visa to go from one country to another. So I that really surprised me, for sure. I got surprised. Okay, somebody else was saying, this statement, I don't like it. Actually, I don't like it, but yeah, somebody else was saying Africa is all poor and undeveloped. Really? Of course, like any other part of this world, there are always poor people and rich people, middle class. There are all levels of people in every part of the world. So Africa is no exemption. Like, we are not indifferent. We also have all these classes. You have the rich, the poor, the middle class, name them, all those. So we have people, poor people in Africa, we have very rich people in Africa, we have the middle class in Africa. So yeah, I don't want to talk about that because I don't like that topic. Okay. Somebody else said it's mostly wildlife and villages. This is one of the most interesting parts, because not only in this comment, but I've also heard it in so many, even short clips in YouTube, TikTok. I've seen how the other people from outside Africa react about us, and people think Africa is one big forest where human beings coexist with wildlife animals. Somebody was even saying, in one clip I was watching, somebody was saying that Africans actually go to hunt for their food. Can you imagine? Like, I can get out of my house and with my arrows, because Africans actually are not known for using guns. So with my arrows and a bow, going to hunt for lunch. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let me sit very well so that I can. Hey, that's crazy. Like, really? Oh my goodness. I just can't wait to, get somebody from outside Africa, no matter where you come from. Like, I get how you have been taught, how you were taught in school, how this came to your mind, just to understand. It's crazy that people think for an African to eat or to have food on the table, you have to go out and hunt for, I don't know, gazelles, antelopes, waterbacks, for you to get food, or go out there and I don't know, get what fruits from the forest, and you come and eat, fruits from the forest. You just went hunting and gathering from the forest, get some meat, bush meat from the forest. Oh my goodness. That's amazing, by the way. If you think that about us, I don't know. I don't know. I need to have a conversation with you. If you actually believe that's what Africa is all about, I need to have a conversation with you. For sure. When I was in school, I'm reading one of the comments here. When I was in school in the US, world history focused on Europe. I had to learn on my own about the countries in Africa. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. I didn't know that. So like American syllabus doesn't teach much about Africa. That's what you're saying. Okay, I get it. I get it. If it's not taught, actually, it's not easy for you to know about it. So yeah, yeah, that's something. Okay, so guys, Africa is not one country, just like I told you, and also we don't go out there hunting for animals for us to get food. No, 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 man. Actually you should come to Africa. You should plan one of these fine days before. I don't know. I don't know how to put it, but um, in one of your trips, in one of your vacations, you should plan a vacation to Africa. Any country, just go to any country in Africa, and you'll get to learn actually one or two things about Africa. It's good that way because for us, we know, for like me personally, and almost all the people I know around me, they have a very wide knowledge about, for example, America, North America, South America, a very wide knowledge about Europe, Asia, a very, I don't know which part of the country. I think one part of the country that we are, me or the people I know don't actually know a lot about is Antarctica. Yeah, only that, only that continent. I don't know what goes on there. I don't know most of the countries, if they even exist. I don't know. I don't know a lot about that. But this America, Europe, Asia, that's those are parts or places that we have a lot of information about. So I was thinking or hoping that you also guys know about us, know about Africa. Okay. Sorry guys. Okay, let me go to the other comment. Mhm. People in Africa lack education or skills. Somebody was thinking that people in Africa actually are not educated. People in Africa lack, skills. Hey, this one I understand, and I understand it when other people say that because most of the time Africans or African countries actually are struggling with education. That's a fact. That's true. And struggling with education, I mean, most parents in Africa don't afford to pay for their kids, to get good education, to go to good schools, and even the local schools. Most parents here in Africa struggle a lot to put their kids in school. So for a parent who has actually committed to take their kids to school, for sure, if you ask them, they have gone through a lot to just give good education to their kids. So I understand when I see this comment, but again, most Africans are well educated. Most Africans have skills, relevant skills in different fields, in different careers, and sometimes I don't know if I should compare them with other cultures, other countries. I feel like it's not fair to do that, but again, Africans really excel in education. Africans are inventing things left, right, and center. Africans are just doing a lot for themselves. It's only that when a genius, when the West or Europe or those developed countries realize that there's a genius mind somewhere in Africa, they just come and take them to go work for them. Yeah, that happens a lot. So if somebody is like top of the top, cream de la cream, yeah, they come and take them, and they go to work for them. And for Africans, that's a privilege. We see it as a privilege, you know, to somebody to come and take you from Africa. You go to maybe UK, you're given a big job, good salary, you know, just to do what you do best, to deliver with your skills. That one for Africans, we see it as so big, but it's a topic that I don't want to also touch on. So it's something good, yes. Africans are so educated, Africans are well learned, and it's not like Africans are not, you know, don't have skills. Africans are not, don't go to school. No, not really. For example, if I may tell you something, most kids from America, their assignments, their thesis is done by Africans, students in African universities, mostly in Kenya. Students in the Kenyan universities earn a living from doing assignments for students in the United States. That's true. I'm saying that because I've done that when I was in the university, when I was in campus. So I don't want to compare, but most assignments, most theses that the or projects that the candidates in the United States, in UK, in this, you know, well developed countries, is being done by our own here in Kenya. I'm not lying to you. We have even websites where I can go apply for a job just to do assignments for other people, and just like that. Okay, let me leave that at that point, because I don't want to also go into details about it. So I don't know what's happening with my internet. Guys, can you hear me? If you're watching me, kindly write on the chat and tell me if the my internet is okay, so that I can know if I need to do something. Also, don't forget to like this live, guys. Just give it a like. Give it a like. I hear you. Thank you, mom. Thank you, mom, for writing that. Thank you so much. So let me go to another thing that actually surprised me from the comments I received. Africa is behind in technology. Uh, Not at all. Not at all. You'll be surprised. For example, let me talk about my country actually, because Africa is so big. I can't talk for 54 countries, because even myself, I don't know what's happening in other countries here in Africa. I have no idea what's happening in Morocco right now. I have no idea what's happening in Algeria. I have no idea what's happening in Namibia right now. I don't even know who is their president. I don't even know how their government works. So it's crazy. But in terms of technology, Africa is not in a bad place when it comes to technology, because we have a lot. It's only that we don't have those big machines and and artillery, we don't have those, but we are good in technology. We are so advanced. For example, here in Kenya, people don't even use cash money. It's rare, so rare to see someone using cash, unless it's in those very small, what do we call them, micro or macro businesses. That's where you see people using, cash, and it's very rare. Even those small businesses, it's very rare because people pay with mobile money. And mobile money actually was invented here in Kenya. M-Pesa, mobile money transfer. It was invented here in Kenya. Just Google, you can see that. By a Kenyan. So in terms of technology, we are not so bad. It's only that, yeah, there are some topics when it comes to technology I don't want to talk about also. But we're not so bad, or we're not so behind in terms of technology. You have so good guys in IT here. You have so good people who excel in IT, and they are taken to other countries to go and work. And other people who are so good here in Kenya. Recently, but people in IT here in Kenya actually misuse that opportunity or that knowledge that they have sometimes. So that's another topic. That's another topic. Yeah. So you who is watching me, what else do you think, or what else do you know about Africa that you're not so sure of? I I give you an assurity here, or I disqualify it. I just want to know, what funny thing do you know about Africa? Just tell me those funny things that you know about Africa. You most of the time you will find that they are not even true. They are not even true. Someone was even telling me, I didn't write this one down. Someone was commenting that Africa is always, fighting, always at war. So Africa is unsafe. It's an unsafe place. No, 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 my brother or my sister. It's not like that. Africa is so safe. There are countries that actually are at war. At war with who? There are countries that have rebels. They're not at war. They just have rebels. So there are some people who want to overthrow governments. There are like 2 or 3 countries out of 54 countries. Can you imagine? Out of 54 countries, there can't be 5 countries here in Africa that are at war or that are fighting. There are like 2 or 3. Yeah? So I just wanted to put these facts, to the out there to the internet, so that people can actually know that it's not all that you know that is right. Sometimes there are things that you think you know, but they are so wrong. You are totally wrong about the whole situation or the whole idea. So yeah, yeah. So that is it, guys. That is it. Why should somebody think that Africa is at war, or Africa is an unsafe place to go? Unsecure place to go. I don't know. I don't know. Of course, we have had some wars here and there, just like any other part of the world. Actually, we hear about um, more. I don't know how I should call. High density wars, or so destructive wars out there, that Africa is. I don't know. Sometimes we feel like uh, there are some other countries that are really. I don't even want to talk about that because YouTube might give me a strike. I don't want to talk about the that topic. Okay, so let me just try and see other things here. I wrote a lot of comments. Let me see. I'm just trying to see my laptop. My laptop also is acting up. I don't know. Yeah, there's no opportunities in Africa. That one I might agree with it. But it's not like there's no opportunities in Africa. There's limited opportunities in Africa, especially when it comes to employment, because most people go to school, graduate with your degree or your diploma, and then you end up out here without a job. It has happened to most of us, including me. So there is opportunity, like less or limited opportunities. So getting a job is the only problem in this Africa. Getting a job, and a good job, like a job that can sustain you and support you to have a family and support your family, because mostly in Africa, when you're looking for a job, you're not looking for a job for yourself to sustain yourself. You're looking for a job to sustain you, your family that you are, if you want to marry or if you want to get married, you know and then your other family, your mother, your father, your siblings. In Africa, it's all about community. You are working for the community. And even apart from that, if you get a really good job, you stand to also support your cousins, support your uncles, support your aunties. It's about community. Yeah. Somebody was saying that in the Western culture, this one was from Europe, I think from UK. A white lady, was complaining that no, actually, she was crying when she came to Africa and realized how people live as a community. She was saying that we are so lucky that we have community, like we live like a community. We have that community setting, community kind of, we support each other as a people. We support, you can imagine, if I get successful right now, I have to support a lot of people. Like, if my mom has no good house, I am responsible to build her a good house. I'm responsible to just support her to have a good life, my mom, my dad. And also my siblings. If there's a sibling who is struggling, I ought to support them. I ought to bring them to their feet, like support them to get some, or even start them a business, yeah, so that they can be able to, you know, fend for themselves. Like, it's all about community. If you finished with that immediate family, you go to your cousins, you go to your uncles, you go to other people who are not so close like uncles. Like, there could be a neighbor who is you're not so close related to. You need to support also them. That's how we live here in Africa. And this lady was crying and saying, I wish I was born in Africa. Oh, these people have a lot of love. Like, she was saying, she always went out to the streets or to the market, the supermarket, to do shopping and go back to her house, and nobody talked to her for like a whole month. You go out there, you do your shopping, go back to the house, that is it. Go to work, maybe you talk to your colleagues. Out of work, nothing. No friends, nothing. And she was so shocked that in Africa, you can just go to the shop to buy bread and you talk to the shopkeeper, you talk a lot of stories, you can even get somebody along the way, you talk a lot about a lot of things, politics. You can get a total stranger in the street, and you start talking, you talk about a lot of things. If the topic is politics, you talk about politics. If it's football, you talk about football, and it's just like that. People live. People are so friendly. Yeah, yeah. Especially in Kenya, people are so friendly. Yeah. Okay. Somebody also was saying that in is non-existent. Hey, of course we are not so developed like those developed countries. We are third world. Most of the African countries are third world. They are classified as third world countries. So we might not be having first class infrastructure, but as to me, um, it's relative. It's relative because we have very good roads, especially in Kenya, Nairobi. We have very good roads. If you have been watching me, you have been watching my content, my vlogs, you have already seen some roads that are so perfect. Or if you have been seeing or watching other YouTubers from Africa, from Kenya here, we have a village here in Kenya called Nyabohanse that has very many YouTubers, and sometimes they come here to Nairobi and they showcase. If you've been watching also them, you already know. You have very good infrastructure. The real estate industry is doing marvelous, like blowing up, doing marvelous. There's a lot of construction going on. There's a lot of developments going on, especially in Nairobi. I'm saying Nairobi because I'm staying in Nairobi, so there's a lot that is going on in terms of development. And I know this is not only Nairobi; it's almost in every city here in Africa. So infrastructure, we have good infrastructure. We have good roads. Because I can get out of Nairobi if I'm driving myself. It's only that I don't have a car. If I get like I'm driving myself, most of the time I go to I go up country with my brother. My brother drives. So it's just very easy to access the village from these big cities because of good infrastructure. Okay. uh Africans don't have corporate or professional culture. Hey, really? Hey, guys, we have so many multinational companies here in Africa, and mostly in South Africa, in Nigeria, and in Kenya, also in Morocco. A lot of multinational companies are actually moving here. For instance, in my previous job, I was working for a multinational company as a customer service representative for an e-commerce company that operates in Europe, and I was dealing with clients from almost, I don't know how many countries, like 10 countries across Europe: Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, UK, Ireland, Austria, Hungary, I don't know where, Italy, France. Imagine, I was dealing with all those guys. It was an e-commerce platform, so helping people, I don't know. I don't want to talk about that because you might even realize which company it is. The only problem is those companies don't want us to identify ourselves as ourselves. So I talked to a client in Italy, and I don't say my name. They give us fake names to use. It's something I didn't like, but that's what happens. They gave us fake names to use, so like nicknames. They call them nicknames, but they're just fake names. They don't want us to say, "Oh, I am Amos Owoge calling from." No, they give you a name like, um, "I am John Cooper calling from." Yeah, nah, 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 nah. And then you state their headquarters, where their headquarters are based. You don't say, "I'm calling from Africa, Kenya." No. But that's a topic for another day. So we are so good, actually. We are professionals. Also, not necessarily multinational companies. We have a lot of companies here in Kenya. Most of them doing so well. Even Kenyan companies. Safaricom, Equity Bank, mostly banks, they are doing exemplary well. And we have also the professional culture. We are not so local like you think about us. Yeah, everyone wants to leave Africa. Hey, most people want to leave Africa, but they don't want. It's not like they want to leave and go and never come back. People just want to go and find good opportunities out there, like mostly jobs. And that's why people just want to go out of Africa. Most people who have even gone out of Africa, they say, if I get, a job, or if I get to establish a good business that can, you know, um, push me well, that can sustain my life, or my lifestyle, I don't have to go out of Africa. I don't have to go even out of my country or out of my village. People don't want to go out there. People just want to go out to look for opportunities, for jobs. That's the only reason that most people are going out there. Otherwise, it's not like Africans want to go out of Africa. Africa is good. See, for us, we are used to this uh, climate where we never experience winter. Every day it's summer. Yeah, even if it rains, it's like just, it's so cool. It's not so cold. We are just used to this warm weather. And for these countries that are along the equator, if you know the equator line, so like Kenya, the equator dissects Kenya into two halves. So for these countries that are along the equator, they experience very perfect weather, perfect climate. Not so hot, not so cold. When it rains, yes, it can get cold, but not so cold like it's freezing cold. No, because like today it rained. I mean, I'm wearing a t-shirt. Imagine, and I'm wearing a t-shirt. Not only in the house, but out there. Also, we don't use AC. Can you imagine? We don't use AC. It rained, yes. For us, this is so cold, but we don't use AC to warm the house. The house is just warm naturally. It's only if I go with a t-shirt out there, yes, it gets cold. I need to wear something warm like a sweater, but not jacket and another jacket on top, another jacket. I don't need to wear that. Just a sweater, I'm good to go, or a jacket, good to go. So Africa is actually one of the best places to live. For example, right now I'm working with a real estate developer from Europe, a company from Europe that is trying to develop cities across Africa, and they chose Kenya. Um, like currently they are developing the cities in 5 different countries across Africa, and Kenya is one of them. So it's a whole, it's a big city, a whole city, master planned, and most people that are buying in this city are people from Europe, America. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Um, and they are buying this because the selling point for the city is just our climate, the climate that we are experiencing here. So people are buying second homes here, so that when it's, winter in Europe, in US, they come here for a few months. When winter is over, they go back to their homes. So it's like, and other people just moved here like, we just want a second home in Africa where we can go during winter and all that and all that, but they ended up living here, permanently. They liked it here, they loved it. Life here is so cheap. We eat sorry, we don't eat those GMO foods. We eat natural. We eat natural food. Yeah. So there are a lot of things, and also Africa has game parks where you can come and do safaris. For example, in that city, they are coming up with um, an animal sanctuary where you can come, and but it's because it has a lot of residential places. They are not going to put their like these fierce animals or dangerous animals. They're going to put their friendly animals like the antelopes, giraffes, zebras, these grazers mostly. Yeah, and it's a very beautiful place, a very beautiful place. I don't want to talk more about it also because I'm not paid to advertise them. But if you want to know about it, you can talk to me because I'm also selling there. Okay. Another one. I'm skipping others because they don't make a lot of sense. Africans are always in need of help. What? What? There are so rich families here in Africa. There are so rich people here in Africa. So it's not always like Africans are always in need of help. We are people in need of help, yes, but it's not like everyone in Africa is in need of help. No, no, not really. I'm telling you, the only difficult thing here or the only challenge here in Africa is getting good education. Not just good education, it's getting just education, basic education. It's so expensive, and it's not like expensive when you talk about the fee in the amount. It's only that people don't have sources to get money in Africa. So even a very little amount that people pay in schools becomes a challenge. It's so difficult for people to pay for school fees. So for a parent who actually takes um, more than two, more than three kids to school, it's a very huge challenge, and mostly people here sell their lands to take kids for school, or sell cows. Mostly these domestic animals, goats, sheep. People do that to take kids to school. Okay. Um. What you see in charity ads is the full picture. Some people even manipulate people from other parts of the world, just to get money. Yeah, it's not always that. It's not what you see in the art that is the the full picture. Even here in Kenya, actually, we have communities that are really struggling. Of course, we have villages that are in good places where they can do farming, and also they're in, in bad states. They are struggling. They're in poverty, but not as bad as other villages from desert areas. Like here in Kenya, we have parts of the northern part of Kenya. People, there's a tribe called the Turkana. Turkana. Other people say that name as Takana. People from the west, but Turkana. Turkana. Those people, just Google them. They are really suffering. So such we have such people, and then we have people like uh, villages that are really good, so green, people who can do farming, you know. Like we have different also struggles here in Africa. There are people who are living in deserts, and we have people who are living in good places. And the deserts are so small. They're not very few people live in deserts, but they are living the worst lives you can imagine. When I see movies, about the apocalypse, I feel like some Africans or African villages actually are living like those lives that people say, oh, uh, the end of the world, the apocalypse. When it comes, this is how people will live, survive. It will be so difficult to survive. It will be so difficult even to get food, even to move around. That's what other people in Africa are living, like their normal life. It's their normal. So when the apocalypse maybe comes one day, Africans will get it so smooth, like it will be so easy for them to survive, because people are used to hard life for sure. Hard life, hard life. Yeah. Africa is unsafe everywhere. No, I just talked about that. Africa is so safe. Just come to, for example, Kenya. Go to South Africa. Go to Namibia. Go to Zambia. Go to Angola. Go to, apart from the very few countries that are at war, most of the countries in Africa experience. We have never known war. For example, here in Kenya, we have never known war. Just some countries, a few. They are not more than five, and it's not like a whole country. For example, let me give an example of DRC Congo. Yes, there was war there recently, but it's not like the whole country was at war. Just some parts of that country. Yeah. Uh-huh. Things move slowly in Africa. Hey, what do you mean by that? Things move slowly in Africa? Not really. Not really. What moves slowly in Africa? I don't know what you mean by that, but that's not the case. One thing, oh, I forgot about the comments. It's because I saw they were not coming in. Yes, Mom, I see you commented here. One thing that surprised me is that you all still get malaria. Yes, to actually malaria here is something is the most common disease that attacks people around here, because we got a lot of mosquitoes, guys. One thing I don't know is what happens to you guys. Do you get like some kind of vaccination against malaria that you can't you can't what there's a term I'm looking for, it's gone. Like you can't get ill of malaria. What happens when the mosquitoes bite you? What really happens? But some parts of the world, mosquitoes get sterilized. For example, here in Nairobi, mosquitoes actually were sterilized. So if a mosquito bites you in Nairobi, you don't get malaria. Yeah. I see you say yes. It has been eradicated in the West. Okay. Maybe they did what Nairobi did. Mosquitoes were sterilized. I don't know how they managed to do that, but I think it's some kind of I don't know. I don't know how they do it. But mosquitoes in Nairobi can't give you malaria. But if you go up country in the villages, if a mosquito bites you, very high chances you'll get malaria. You will contract malaria. For example, in our home back in the village, if a mosquito bites you, very high chances. Very high chances. And now it gets worse with the kids, because kids actually uh, contaminate or get malaria so easily. So, and there are a lot of mosquitoes in the village. For example, in our village, it rains a lot, a lot. There's a lot of rainfall because we live in the highlands. Yeah, our people chose to live in the highlands, so we get a lot of rainfall, and with that climate, a lot of mosquitoes. So kids back at home, they get malaria oftenly. Oftenly. I didn't know that malaria doesn't exist in the West. I actually didn't know that. But I know they must have done something that was done here in Nairobi that I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it. But mosquitoes in Nairobi, they were sterilized. They can't give you malaria. Okay, thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for participating in this live. It's actually getting late here. It's now 11 p.m. East African time. I'm so grateful for all your support. I'm so grateful for all who have watched. I can see today we have managed to hit 1 hour of live stream. That's something we have never done before. This is my third live stream. I'm so grateful for just being here and seeing me talk and talk and talk. It's something I really appreciate. Let me see the comments. Have a good night. It has been eradicated in the West. Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that. Yeah, have a good night. Have a good night too, Mom. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate. Till next Saturday, we'll do another live on next Saturday. Kindly, I'm just urging you to come and join me in the live. Thank you. Have a good night. And also don't forget to subscribe, guys. We are really growing with this live stream. I like it. And I really appreciate that you come and subscribe to my channel. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye bye. I know to some it's daytime.